propose the question that the House do now adjourn. I call a member for Chifley.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. This statement makes a statement. It's the EIS of Sydney's biggest project, Badgerys Creek Airport. And look at it. Designed to make you think it's very comprehensive, right? Wrong. Here's one critical flaw in this EIS showing you what it's all about. In 2000, the Blue Mountains was put on the World Heritage List by UNESCO, a great win for Western Sydney and the nation. And in announcing the decision, UNESCO specifically referred to the fact that plans for a second Sydney airport at Badgerys Creek adjacent to the Greater Blue Mountains area had been abandoned. This EIS largely quotes that UNESCO decision, except for the fact that UNESCO referred to the shelving of the airport. Amazing. One of the biggest reasons why the Blue Mountains was heritage listed, no airport, not mentioned by this EIS. Like so much support for this airport, the EISs all show artificial, cynically papering over any argument against the airport developed using dodgy community consultation. An airport which was announced by a Warringah-based Prime Minister, backed up by a Point Piper Prime Minister, supported by a Manly-based Premier, funded by a Sutherland-based Federal Treasurer, and advocated by a Hornsby-based Urban Infrastructure Minister who tells Western Sydney it's great to have a 24-hour-a-day airport while regularly complaining himself about aircraft noise coming from curfew-protected Sydney Airport. Politicians backed up by media execs who don't live in Western Sydney, reporting the comments of phantom community groups claiming to speak for Western Sydney but run out of the east. Take the Western Sydney Leadership Dialogue with its chairperson Christopher Brown. He loves Western Sydney, he just won't live with us. Check out the patrons of his organisation, the Western Sydney Leadership Dialogue: Nick Greiner, Cameron Klein, Dr Kerry Schott, Professor Peter Shergold, all mates of Chris Brown, and like him I'm pretty sure they don't open their eyes of a morning in Western Sydney. If they do, let me know. The Dialogue's a massive money spinner, running conferences talking about Western Sydney Airport not held in Western Sydney. You can attend if you stump up $500 for a ticket. What political and business advocates of this project are interested in is the commercial opportunity flowing from a 24-hour airport based in Sydney's west, an operation that will never affect them personally. Many of these politicians and businesses don't champion better funding for schools that are falling apart in Sydney's west. They don't push for improvements to our rundown public transport infrastructure or toll-free motorways to ease crippling road congestion. They don't push for infrastructure Western Sydney residents actually need. They're never outraged by hospital ward closures in our area or horrified that our hospitals are listed as some of the most stressed in New South Wales. But they do say the answer to all those problems is Badgerys Creek Airport. Seriously. They point to the economic and job benefits of an airport that won't be fully operational until the second half of this century. It will be interesting to see if their jobs figure gets revised as a result of automation and technological change. But here's a test for politicians and business people that tell us Badgerys Creek Airport, propped up by billions of public funds, is good for jobs. Instead of waiting for jobs to land in the second half of this century, why don't we generate jobs for Sydney-siders right now through one simple move? Lift the number of planes that land every hour at Sydney Airport, not by 100 an hour, or 50, or 20, or 10, just by 5 extra planes every hour. You extend the life and efficiency of Sydney Airport without spending one extra public dollar, boosting economic activity, tourism and jobs. And a jobs and growth government would race to do that, surely. They won't, because like most advocates for this airport, they're hypocrites, pushing for a development that will affect the quality of life for the west of Sydney using terms they'd never accept themselves. And they'll never accept a curfew on batteries because it will render the project uneconomic. So why are we pouring billions into an airport Qantas won't move to, Virgin won't move to, and is only economic if it operates 24 hours a day? As outgoing head of IATA Tony Tyler said, it's generally better to have a single airport as a hub. And, quote, I don't know how they will divide flight traffic distribution. It's quite hard to think of a way that really works. That begs the question, are we really talking about 2 airports in a future Sydney? I'm pretty certain this speech won't be reported within Sydney media because they've made their mind up. They're making sure this airport gets built no matter what Western Sydney residents think. But to residents in Western Sydney who see this speech, all I ask for you to do is share it amongst your friends, along with the speeches made last week by Senator Doug Cameron and member for Macquarie Susan Templeman, because we're keen for you to hear not just the arguments for this airport, but the way the arguments are being made, and we also want you to get what other Sydney-siders enjoy: economic opportunity and a good quality of life. You deserve both without sacrificing one for the other.